Hi guys, welcome back. I am so excited to be filming today's video. I just feel like it's going to resonate with so many mamas out there. I am filming a video all about entering your slow living era in motherhood. If you're new here and you don't know me, I'm Alicia. I have 4 children and I have a very busy life. So we have 4 children and we probably want more. I am also a primary school teacher and my husband works full-time. He is self-employed. Then I am also a part-time ballerina, so that takes up a lot of training time. I also am the main carer for my disabled son, and I also help to run my church's food bank, and I do all of the food collections. So I have a really packed schedule, and then we also have obviously 4 children but lots of pets. So we have a dog, a cat, fish, hamster, 3 bunny rabbits, and I think that's all of our pets, but our house is packed and our schedules are so busy. But in 2024, I decided that I was going to be much more intentional with my time and stop rushing around like a crazy person, snapping at everybody because nothing was organized. And I decided to really prioritize researching and implementing slow living into our lives. And it is one of the best things I've ever done. I used to watch videos and feel like, how do these people live in this soft girl era? Do they not have anything to do in the daytimes? And the truth is that you just have to make sure that you make it a priority. So today I'm going to be sharing with you how I live a soft life, how we interpret soft living in our parenting, and also all of my top tips for how you can implement it in your life. Some of the tips are big changes that will take time, and then some of them are really quick, easy, simple changes that you can put into place straight away after watching this video. So I really hope that you enjoy this video. I really hope that this gives you some inspiration to start putting some slow living into your routine. If you do, don't forget to like the video and subscribe and hit the bell, because I upload 3 times a week lots of different motherhood, homemaking and cleaning content. We do lots of motherhood vlogs, lots of cleaning vlogs, homemaking tips, and some sit downs like we're on FaceTime having a coffee catch up together. So don't forget to subscribe and let's get started. I've basically made a list on my phone of all of the changes that I put into place when I decided to make slow living a priority, and there's so many different changes that we made, so I have just put down the top ones that I think made the biggest change into us living in more of a slow, intentional pace of life. So tip number 1 is the mornings. Now, if you watch my channel and my vlogs, you will know I am not a morning person. I cannot stand the mornings. My husband wakes up literally skipping, singing, happy to see a new day, and he has to wake me up 10 times in the morning. I'm like a child that doesn't want to get out of bed. I am just not a morning person. But I have started making it a real priority to get up before the children in the mornings. It doesn't happen all the time, and if the baby has been awake a lot in the night, then I often don't get up before the children. But on the days that I do, it makes the biggest amount of difference to our mornings. It means that I can get up at a really slow pace without having to get up and rush around waking the children up and getting everybody dressed. So I wake up slightly earlier than the children. I make sure that we have a hot drink and I just sit down. Sometimes I will sit inside. However, if the weather is okay and not pouring with rain, I will head outside just for 2-3 minutes to get some fresh air and some vitamin D. And I feel like it has just changed the whole pace of the mornings. Me being able to get up, have a coffee, sit down before the morning rush starts means that by the time that I wake the children up, I'm in a really good mood, and then my positive mood will affect the way that they wake up. So if I have woken up late and I'm waking them up and I'm really grumpy and I'm like, come on, get up, or everyone's late, we've got so much to do. Of course, they are not going to wake up very happy. They are going to feed off of my energy. So if I wake up earlier and I have had my morning coffee, I've had a snack, I've had some me time, and I then go in and wake them up smiling, oh, we've got all the time in the world, what would you like to do this morning before we start to get ready? They feed off of that energy, and it means that our mornings flow at this beautiful, quiet and calm pace, rather than us rushing around trying to get everyone together and out of the door ASAP. So I think that that is probably one of my biggest tips for the morning. And you will see some people that say, get up before your children, get everything ready. I don't mean that. What I mean is waking up and making sure that you have some dedicated you time in the morning to really get yourself together and to get your mindset. Maybe practice some gratitude, do some journaling, read your Bible if you are spiritual. Just get outside, get some vitamin D before you start waking the children up. My second tip is a huge one that made the biggest difference to, I think, our whole evening routines every day, and it is around food. So I have discovered the art of batch cooking. Now, when I think of batch cooking, I think of meal prepping for the gym, lots of plastic or glass Tupperware everywhere, spending a Sunday batch cooking, and that is not what I'm talking about. I have been doing the most amazing strategy that has just changed meal times for me. So whenever I'm making an elaborate meal, I make sure that I double batch. So I literally use double the amount of ingredients and a huge pan, and then I split it in half once it's done. So if a dinner has taken me an hour and a half to make, it means that we can have it for 2 nights in a row, or I can put it in the freezer ready for the next week. And it's just so helpful on those evenings where you really want to be just chilling out, going at the slowest pace, spending time with your children. Perhaps you've been out and about and you're running late in your routine. You can just go to the fridge and there is a nice home cooked meal there for you, and you just put it in the microwave and heat it up, and it's literally as though you have stood there cooking it. So double batching your meals will really support you in a slow living journey, because it essentially means that you are having double the food but half of the time, and it means that you get to save so much time and you can put that into living more intentionally and making sure that you're using your time intentionally. Next is all of my cleaning routines. It's simplifying them. I was getting crazy with the cleaning routines. I love a routine. I am a real routine girly, but I felt like I was recreating a new cleaning routine every week because nothing was working. I always felt like I was behind with the cleaning, and therefore I thought the solution was just to put new routines in place all the time. So what I have actually learned is that if I do a little every day, it means that I'm not doing a full house clean a couple of times. I want to say a day. I'm not doing a full house clean every single day. So I have made a fantastic cleaning routine that I think I will likely stick to forever, or at least whilst we have the children living with us. And it basically looks like me splitting up the house into different days. So for example, on a Monday, I will clean the living room. On a Tuesday, I deep clean the kitchen. Wednesday, the bathroom, so on and so forth. And it means that the whole house always is tidy because I've always deep cleaned a room, but I've not had to deep clean the whole house every single day. And it has saved me so much time in the fact that I am just really intentionally cleaning, and I know what I'm going to be doing that day, and therefore I don't get distracted. Because I feel like as a mum, you will know this feeling of when you go into a room and you're going to dust, but then suddenly you're like, oh, actually that shelf's a bit messy, let me clean up that shelf. I'll put that thing in the basket. That basket is so unorganized, and suddenly you're doing 6 jobs at once, and whatever you were doing in the first place doesn't even get done. And that was so me. So now I have a really strict regime for cleaning, and I make sure that I stick to it so that I don't get overwhelmed and feel flustered because I have started cleaning 5 different rooms at once and nothing is getting done. So simplifying cleaning routines is a huge part of my slow living. It means that I can just get so much done more efficiently and be more efficient with my time, and therefore I can then relax afterwards because I know that that next room is going to be done the next day. I hope that makes sense. If you're not sure what I do, then feel free to check out the description below, and I will leave a very detailed video in there of exactly how I split up my cleaning routine. Next up is laundry. Now, I am very blessed in the sense that I actually don't do the laundry. My husband does all of our laundry. And I feel like if it was left to me, we wouldn't have many clothes to wear. I am not a lover of doing the laundry at all. So I'm very blessed that he does it. But what he does is he does a load every single day. So what we used to do as a family was we used to do like a wash day a week, and it would mean that there was piles of clothes everywhere. And I feel like the washing wasn't that bad, but it's the putting away that often gets forgotten, and it's like you leave it on the stairs or you leave it on the bed, and then suddenly a couple of days has passed and the piles are everywhere, and you end up in this never-ending cycle of not knowing what's clean and what's dirty, so everything goes back into the washing pile and it can get really jumbled quickly. So he makes sure that he does a load every single day, and that always looks like washing a load, drying a load and putting a load away. And essentially, I have to say, my clothes are always there. I don't know how he does it so efficiently, but I've never gone to find a jumper and it's not there because it's always cleaned the exact same day. So I'm really grateful that he does that for us. But what I would say is if you are doing a wash day a week, a laundry day, consider trying to chop that up into smaller tasks per day so that it doesn't take over an entire day of your week, and then you can use that time more efficiently again. The next section of this video is all about creating intentional moments with the people that matter, whether that's your family, your partner, or your children. So first of all, I think that spending the most intentional time with my children was not about the quantity of time, but about the quality. And what I mean by that is I could spend 4 hours playing with my children. That's an amazing amount of time to dedicate just to playing with them. But if I was to sit there on my phone as they are playing and I'm not paying any attention, I'm scrolling through Instagram or replying to emails, that isn't intentional time. And so those 4 hours are pointless because I'm not dedicating myself to that moment. Whereas what I could do is actually spend an hour doing my emails, Instagram, whatever I want to do, and then spending a whole hour with them with no screens, no distractions, no AirPods in my ears, just really focusing and being intentional with them. So realizing that whilst you might not have all the time in the world to dedicate to spending with your loved ones, what you need to do is make sure that you are spending quality time with them, really carving out moments of your day, whether that is before bed, making a no screens rule for half an hour, and as a family you all play a game together, whether that in the morning that looks like not having the television on and instead having really intentional conversations about what you're looking forward to that day, perhaps at dinner making it a priority that you sit down every single day at dinner together as a family with no screens, all phones and iPads and whatever else get left in a different room, making sure that that time that you spend together is quality time and that it is a priority in your day. I think that just takes such a part in slow living because we as human beings are so busy and we always have so much to do, especially if you're a parent and you are running businesses, and just everything about being a parent is multitasking. So it's really about working on those intentional moments and those skills for recognizing when you're being distracted. So that is one of my biggest tips. It is about the quality time that you spend with your loved ones and not the quantity. Next up in my slow living journey, something that I changed was bedtimes. Now, my eldest is 11 years old and my youngest is 8 months. So I feel like I've got a fair amount of experience in bedtimes, and I have tried and tested lots of different routines, and routines will look different for every family depending on your family dynamic, depending on your children, their age, etc. But for us, the biggest priority to change was the rush, the pace of bedtime. I would look at the clock and suddenly it was 6 o'clock. And I would be like, oh my God, I am now rushing dinner. I am literally in the kitchen, mixing everything together frantically. The kids are on their screens because I am stressing that dinner's not ready, so I don't have time to entertain them. Go on your screens. I am there forcing them to hurry up and eat their food because it's bedtime. Come on, quick, stop watching the TV, eat your food. Next up is bath time, and literally I'm throwing them in the bath, washing them and getting them out. I read them the quickest story ever, just flicking through the pages as quickly as possible, and then say, good night, love you, see you in the morning. And I look back at that now and I'm like, what kind of bedtime was that? And who was in control of the quality of that bedtime routine? I was, as mum. So I have worked so hard on our bedtime. I feel like it is such a special time of the day, and it definitely can be like a really challenging time because it's the end of the day, everyone's tired, you as a parent are tired, perhaps your patience has been tested to the max that day. But I feel like bedtime can be so special if you make it special. So one thing that I love to do is a physical activity before bed. Actually, let me start somewhere else. The first thing that I did was start making dinner much earlier. So I used to make dinner at 6 o'clock. I now make dinner anywhere up to 4 o'clock. So 4 o'clock is the latest that I will start dinner. We cook at 4, we eat around 4:45, and at 5:30, that is literally our family time. So we do chores together, we do home learning together, and then we always do a physical activity before bed. We might make an assault course, we might go for a walk, we might play in the garden for 15 minutes, something physical. After that, we do our bath times, etc. And I love bath time now because I've started it earlier. There's no mad rush. I get to play with the children whilst they're in the bath. Sometimes I will bath with them. It's such a beautiful time. And then we come downstairs and we have a bit of a tradition where we dim the lights down. We have 2 built-in lights in the wall, so they are always on a really warm, low setting. We choose a candle that we will light for the night, and we have low light, no screen time. We read books, we play together, we perhaps do some role playing, we do puzzles. It is just the most beautiful, serene time of the night. It's so slow, so intentional. I just feel so connected to my children before bedtime. And when I look back at how bedtimes used to be compared to how they are now, I'm so grateful that I chose to make slow living a priority, because if you really prioritize it and you really work hard at putting slow living into your evenings, you will see the benefits. So my biggest tip is to start dinner earlier, start your evening routine so much earlier than you actually think. Try it for one day, just trial it and see how it goes. But honestly, it has been the biggest change for our evenings. The next section of this video is all about embracing the imperfections, and it's something that I have had to learn to heal inside myself, because I feel like sometimes you can get so wrapped up in other people's lives that you forget you're also living the life that you once prayed about having. So in slow living is so fantastic physically but also mentally, because slow living is about embracing the imperfections. It's about seeing things go wrong and thinking that's okay. It's about making mistakes and reflecting on them. It's about not panicking. It's about being slow and intentional, and that is why I think I resonate so much with the slow living movement, because life isn't perfect, especially when you have this many children and this many pets and this many commitments. Is never going to be perfect. So something that I just adore about slow living is that I know that it's not perfect, and I love that about my life. And I don't know if there's any other lifestyle where you would be able to say that. You would be able to say, oh, never mind, everything went wrong today. Love that. What can we learn from it? So I would really encourage you to look at the imperfections in your life and learn to love them, learn to laugh about them, learn to giggle about them, because it will really change your mindset. One thing that I think I have really worked hard at putting into place is learning my boundaries and saying no to people. I am such a yes girl. I will say yes to anybody. If you ask me to do anything for you, I used to say yes, even if I couldn't. If you asked me to watch your 15 children and your 20 pets, I would have said yes because I wanted to help, even if I couldn't and I would have really been putting myself out. I would have still done it, whereas now I have learned to say, actually, I can't do that, but how else can I help? And it's been such a learning experience for me. I still sometimes get a little bit uncomfortable saying no to people, but I know where my boundary is. I felt like I would often be taken the mickey out of because everyone knew that I would say yes to anything. I was always up for helping everybody and not putting myself and my family first. So in my slow living journey, I have really learned, where's my boundary? Where do I want to be mentally? Can I take this load on, or am I currently at capacity? And now when I feel like I'm at capacity, I will politely decline. If that looks like you asking me to go out over the weekend and I'm at capacity, I will politely decline. And I love that now. I love that. And at first my friends were confused what was going on because I've always said yes to everything. And when I explained my mental load is too much right now, they were so understanding. So just know that if you are a person that always says yes to everything like I was, you can make that change, whether it's gradual or whether you do it immediately. Make sure that you know where your boundary is and where your capacity can go to before you start to feel overwhelmed. Next up is all about self-care. Now, self-care as a mum is, I always say self-care is not a luxury, it's a necessity. And it's true, but sometimes it just doesn't look like that in life. And it's really difficult to balance self-care when you are a mum, particularly of many, or if you're a new mum. So my tips would be, ensure that you have a self-care routine. That might look as simple as doing skincare twice a day, brushing your teeth twice a day and showering every night. That might look like washing your hair every single night and having an hour to do it. If you are a single mum, and there are so many people that are single parents, I was a single parent myself, I know that that can look different. So my suggestions would be, use your time carefully with your children. If you do allow screen time, make sure that when you are doing screen time, that is your time to do your self-care. Nobody is going to bother you when the screen is on so that you can get on with your self-care. If you have a baby, you can baby wear. You can put them in a wrap so they are close to you. They can feel you, but you can also get on with your self-care. You can do your skincare, your hair, your face mask, whatever. Just doing 10 minutes a day will make the biggest difference to yourself. It will really help your inner self as well, and your mental health and your self-esteem. So really make sure that you're prioritizing it, and also make sure that you are drinking enough water. That is such a big part of self-care. It really nourishes your body. Make sure that you're getting in your vitamins. I feel like self-care and slow living really go together, so make sure that you make that a priority. I feel like this video has gone on forever, so I think I'm going to stop there. I think those are mainly the biggest things that I have changed in my lifestyle to incorporate slow living and really enter my soft girl, slow living era in motherhood. So I really hope you liked it. Comment down below what your favourite tip was, or comment down below if you have a tip that I have not mentioned for other mamas. Please don't forget to like the video, it really helps me to reach new mamas all over the world. And don't forget to subscribe. I upload 3 times a week, lots of different motherhood content. We do vlogs, cleaning, homemaking, all things motherhood and all things slow living. So I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.